So let me walk you through the HelpBot. It's trained on our new interactive Analyze user guide. It provides tailored in-product help. You have the choice to grant access at both the system level as well as the user level. And we are logging the questions asked per user. So first things first, we are officially retiring our PDF version of the Analyze user guide. I don't know if I'll see some applause here or not. Maybe we will. But essentially what we're rolling out is a new interactive page where you have online help. So for example, today when you hit your user profile menu, there's a button that says user guide. And when you load that, it loads a PDF file. What we've done is we've flipped over to this interactive version of the online help. So here you see there's some searching in the online help. But essentially what this will do is it allows you to look at pages further. So think of it kind of like a Google search. So here you're seeing the online help that's available. There's some like table of contents or quick navigation buttons here. But essentially searching in here, what it will do, for example, if I search for excluding topics, I'm going to get back Google-like searches. So I'm going to show you literally it's similar function to you going Control F in the PDF, right? Control F, let me see the pages that are relevant to the words exclude topics. So that's what's available via the interactive documentation of online help. But we're taking it the step further to and the PDF will be available at request. So it's still available. It's still, you can access the data, all of the data there, but we're trying to move forward into the GPT powered version of help. So we actually have a video here that I want to show you.
I believe it is.
There we go. Okay, so here's on the top right, provided you provide access to your users, there's a new button called HelpBot in the user profile. And so here the HelpBot will say, how can I help you? And in this case, you can ask more of a conversational question. So rather than exclude topics, being able to say, is it possible to exclude a word from my topic list? The GPT-powered bot, again, using large language models, will take our documentation and provide you a responsible answer out of that documentation. So as I mentioned, we've done a lot of work to make sure we put up the guardrails to ensure that it's not going to respond with or even tolerate questions that are outside the bounds of the documentation. So here again, a conversational response. I'm showing you in this part of the video that you can also continue interacting with it as Analyze is working in the background. So for the majority of pages, this HelpBot will just pop up in kind of over your application, again, allowing you to continue using it while you're interacting with the bot. All right, let's move forward. In terms of enabling it for individual systems, if you'd like it turned on in your system, just let me know and we'll add a permission there called HelpBot. That permission then allows you to decide who in your organization can interact with it. So definitely let us know if you want to take a look at it. Is this available from today? If you would like it in your system, just let me know. We need to do essentially I want to roll it out to a smaller group of customers first to understand their feedback and if there are things that we should shore up before we roll it out to the larger audience. So we expect that it's going to provide good conversational responses. Again, it's been trained on on our analyzed data. So we've trained it on there, we've curated the prompts, we've provided it Rails. There is no cost associated with it. We are intending to roll it out as a free service once we decide it's ready to roll. Some contact summarization enhancements. We have rolled out our contact summarization feature in our May release of this year. That's the .5 release. We have essentially since then been continuing to enhance it. So two things that you'll see, contact summarization, it's now available for all contact types. So we have the ability to summarize other contacts outside of calls, video, and chat, which was our first deliverable. We've also added support for those summaries to be sent to Salesforce via our Salesforce connector. So here, what I'm showing is the ability to have the additional contact types available in your AI summarization template. So if you are creating AI summaries, you can essentially create summaries for those other types. I will remind you that the AI summaries are only available if a contact is greater than 500 words. So ultimately, we're not going to summarize things that are really short. We're also not able to summarize contacts with just one speaker. So things that are mono will not get summarized. However, if it is a dialogue, back and forth conversation, we can summarize that via contact summarization. This feature is an add-on to your application. So again, in terms of having this available, this is something you need to talk to your CSD about getting it added. We will dynamically display the contact types based on your configuration. So if you'd like it added, if you're a contact summarization customer and you'd like these added to your system, we can add them in there. And then you'll be able to select them when creating your template. We did put a note here that we have a feature in our system today where we update we update transcripts based on appended contacts. So essentially, as with emails, for example, when new emails come into the system, we actually add those to the existing contact in the system. And what we wanted you to make you aware of is that when those new emails come in, we will not be generating new summaries for that individual email. So ideally, we would want to hold off on summarizing an email until certain metadata is there that maybe indicates that the email thread is considered complete. We have also added summaries to our Salesforce connector. So going from CallMiner to Salesforce, we now have our Salesforce connector automatically able to pull those summaries into your Salesforce instance, again, to hopefully help you with the use case of eliminating or minimizing after call work in your organization. In terms of user experience enhancements, we are changing the name of Discover and Build to Library. So that's a pretty minor change, but ultimately you'll notice to the left of Library, we have a tab called Discover. That's something that CallMiner is actively working on as we're setting the stage for additional AI to be added to the product. So we'll be changing Discover and Build over to Library. In terms of notifications, we've made some changes to essentially update the way the timestamps are reflected. So essentially event timestamps, the timestamp that was showing on a notification was the time at which the notification was emailed. And what we've done is we've made the change to have the timestamp reflect when the event hit occurred. So basically, in cases, for example, of like compliance issues, if you're a company that's trying to notify when any complaints are essentially reported in your business, essentially we want to send out an email notification that that complaint event occurred. And because those are time sensitive, we want to provide the timestamp of when the complaint occurred in real life, not when the notification was received. So that way it lets you act on those in a reasonable time frame. So again, seeing the event timestamp in the notification and adding notifications to Coach. So when looking at notifications from a Coach perspective, we originally had the Analyze navigation header available there. But essentially what we've done is we've modified it to be more cohesive for our Coach users to be able to see the Coach navigation bar. Insight email notifications. I'm excited to announce that we are now able to extend our notification platform to send notifications when insights are created. This is the number 2 requested item from a Coach perspective. In terms of customer feedback, our customers in the last 5-6 years that Coach has been available have been asking us to build this insight notification platform. Ultimately, again, addressing this point of feedback of, look, a Coach is creating an insight for an agent. Can you send it to them via email so that they can act on it, go in, know that they need to go to Coach and drive them over to the product? So we've added that. It improves that agent's workflow. It allows agents to access the insights faster because they're seeing the notification in their email and they can act on the feedback. And it's all about that closed loop system. So we have the notifications as well as configuration to look at in the product. So here is an example of the new Insight notification. So the data that comes here is you're going to be seeing the email notification to the recipient. There's a button with a URL that will navigate the users directly to the appropriate coach page based on their user permissions. There, in terms of how it works, you can enable this at the global level. So basically within administration on the display settings, there's a checkbox at the bottom that says allow global Insight email notifications. And it just says, it will be off when we roll out. You can have your administrator go in and turn it on, and it'll make it available to all customers, all coaches, I should say. In terms of user profiles with emails configured and notifications enabled, this chart, essentially what we're showing here is that we do have some customers that don't use email addresses for their user accounts. So of course, if we don't have an email address, we won't be able to send the notification. However, if they have configured it, the user profile email, they've also configured notifications, then we will send the email notification to those folks. Next exciting update. We have added the ability to easily configure your scores to be able to create an auto fail and bonus points situation. So auto fail and bonus points, let me take them one at a time. Bonus points, they're an important motivational tool. We've heard from our customers in the past that being able to add bonus points onto a score is important to be able to award behavior like error reduction or process improvements or certain kudos coming in, where ultimately, you're wanting to say, I don't want to affect the overall score unless this thing happens. Let's give bonus points when that happens. And similarly, auto fail, an automated process for failure reasons. Examples are like regulatory compliance issues or failure to resolve the issue. When things like that happen, you might say, forget it, no credit. So what we've done is we've added the ability to do bonus points and auto fail in Score Builder. We have been able to implement bonus points and auto fail with a lot of workarounds in the past. So like there's a way to be clever with the system and trick it and say only score this when these filters are met, and then do some extra math on my indicators. So that particular feature, it's been available, just not productized. It's just been a clever implementation. But again, it's only worked for not all the indicator types. So I think only categories in the past, and essentially now we have the ability to do it for measures as well as manual indicators. Okay, so again, in contact center environments, quality scores can have exceptions to the scoring rules. These are the examples we just talked through. The auto fail, like a single question on a quality form yields no credit. So profanity, let's fail the entire score. Bonus points, let's give those extra. So now an agent can get 110 out of 100 possible. The way this is implemented is in Score Builder. What you'll see on the far right is that there is now an advanced option, additional options for auto points or bonus fail. I'm sorry, the auto fail or bonus points. So when that's enabled, they'll be required to select one or more auto fail ranges. So you can look at, at the bottom of Score Builder, you see range 1, 2, and 3. If they essentially want to say, yep, if the contact hits any of these ranges, go ahead and auto fail. If it hits any of these ranges, go ahead and give bonus points. And same with bonus points, right? So they can be additive regardless of the score's aggregation type settings and configured to award those additional bonus points to a score. Insight auto assignment. So this is within our real-time product. It is the live and regular insights are auto assigned to the active agent, and live insights are unavailable when agent assistant's not open. So essentially some feature enhancements around, like we have the ability as calls are happening in real time to create coaching opportunities. So we can create these coachings for agents. We can do these in for the live insight. So on the left-hand side of the screenshot, you're seeing send a live insight to the agent. And essentially, we're going to send it only if they have Agent Assistant open. So basically, the coach will have visibility, or the supervisor will have visibility that the agent's not connected, and ultimately they won't be able to send live. It'll be disabled. So more enhanced visibility for the coach or supervisor to know that they will get the message. And then on the right-hand side, we now have the ability to see that regular insight automatically assigned to an agent. So essentially, we've had the capability of sending the live insight. We've extended it to be able to save that insight for coaching after that live moment. So basically saying, okay, I want you to look at this, but not right now. Let's look at it later. And that creating both of those insights were a little difficult for the coach. We were requiring them to say who that insight should go to. So ultimately what we've done is we've added an auto assignment to make sure that it just kind of makes it a little easier for that coach or supervisor to be able to send the insight. In terms of resolved issues, these are bugs that have come in through our help desk channels, so things that we've resolved based on customer feedback. So mining summary report showing a minimum duration rejection as undefined. So customers were getting a rejection and not sure why they were getting a rejection. So we've enhanced visibility on that. Same with the mining summary report around our partner Cloud Connect integrations. They were not displaying correctly in that report, and so we've resolved that issue. Topic Miner, we had some speakers not present within the topic list panel on the right-hand side, so shored that up to make sure all speakers show there. On a coach perspective, we've enhanced our scores that showed as NA in the by score dropdown. They were returning no results when you drilled through from the coach dashboard. So we wanted to essentially shore that up as well. And then on the platform side, for customers that don't have the visualized product, we were writing logs around the fact that they don't have the visualized product. So we're enhancing that. And then lastly, at the very bottom, we had an escalation come through in the last month that a customer inadvertently modified the transcription engine that was being used, modified from Azure Transcription, which is our default transcription, back to an NTE implementation, nuanced transcription. So feedback that customers just didn't want that level of control to be available for certain administrators. So essentially what we've done is we've enhanced that permission to make sure that it's not enabled by default for any customers, but that it needs to be turned on. And this is actually just for new systems. So any new system administrators coming in, it wouldn't be we have not changed the permissions for existing customers.